flip, money flow like a battleship, Did it a new, deliver new, giving out like Shaq at the free throw. Anybody wanna be ET? Man, y'all can't see me. Out of my league, you.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. The very first play from scrimmage, how about that? Talk about setting a tone.
And people always talk about doing exactly that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the first offensive and defensive series. Who's going to gain an advantage? Well, we saw exactly what happened there. A tone was definitely set by the offensive team.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Off of play action, it's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. Now it's Watson. Fighting a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got some space here. The 20. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, That's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. The tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Watson on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to QT. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson eluding the pressure right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. they go on fourth. Watson. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a fourth down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Watson now to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And even 50 receiving yards for him now in this first quarter alone, and also a 1st down. The Texans with a first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Watson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And this one is no good. He missed it, but there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
this one through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that?
on. What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? The legal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gone! 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 Gone!
Back to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And the Texans scoop it. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 46. Here's Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Watson. Now they go screen. It's complete. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Watson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Out of the gun, Watson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. To the air yet again, Watson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Got an open man. It's QT. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Black 22! Black 22!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now a first down throw, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Made his first. This now from 42 yards out. And Bullock will put this one through. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes the Texans now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Back 22! Back 22!
On second down, here's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! Detroit!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. time left to go out and get that victory.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson flushed out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He got 29 yards that time. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 34. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him. So I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
To throw is Watson from the gun on third down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Bullock will put this one through. And that extends their advantage to 6 at 16-10. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Raiders on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be third and a mile.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Over! 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 Cut!
They'll drop the throw. And, oh, that is going to be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the 1st. Back now in Houston. Watson now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10.
Red, green, the line, green, the line.
Here's Watson. And the Raiders have got him. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
To throw is Watson. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Now Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Taken in at the 11. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
They go play action here on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
So in this case, you'd think the defense would be collapsing to the left side of the field, and they forced him to his left. So he just tucked it away and picked up some yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
And they'll run it here. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
And they'll go on the ground. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, where a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They get it to him running left. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Raiders move back within a couple of the lead. And now the Raiders will face an important 2-point conversion attempt here.
Detroit! Wide, get wide. Watch him now, Barney.
They're going to try and run for it. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. But he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Watson off play action. Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big-time play there for the Texans. 77 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Tiger.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Richmond. Black 99, feel it.
He'll get it up the middle. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And that's the problem with putting a bigger personnel package in. A lot of times it makes it hard to find space. And now you're looking at 3rd and goal.
Black 99, feel it. Tiger.
The short yardage man, it's Coleman. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Derek Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Bullock good on the extra point. And it might seal the deal as that makes it a 2-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Shreds the tackle. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And that's the play, that pick by Mathieu, that will seal this football game.
The Honey Badger does it again. And I think one of the best nicknames that's ever been given. Just so inspired. He may not care, as Honey Badgers don't, but he understands how to get around the ball, and he just sealed another victory.
How do you know about the mental psyche of a Honey Badger?
That's always been the expression. The Honey Badger, he doesn't care.
Now a handoff looking right. Shifts by him. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Hey, blue lady! Blue lady!
Now they try the right side here. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Houston, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
thicker the ply, thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet them a bite, now listen no big one. Brian no kind of driving it fast. They were just eating cause they in the way and the way it been made it. The mad, man in them baggers, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin. Now the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out. She don't give a. She was in her bag. Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation. We was on roll like tires. Where we gon' let? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one in the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, Flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring her your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6 Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid. She ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snigger bait. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. All in her